Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Everyone wants to kick off the new year in a way that's considered positive and enjoyable. No matter what you do, the goal is for you to do it safely. And according to an analysis by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, on New Year's Day, half the fatal crashes involve a driver who is considered to be drunk, which typically means a blood alcohol content of at least 0.08. My next guest is here to give you an alternative to getting behind the wheel if you've been out celebrating with family and friends. Diane Wagner is the Alcohol Responsibility Manager for MillerCoors, and she'll tell us about several special programs that the corporation has in place to keep consumers safe during the holidays and all year long. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Andrea.
Thank you so much for being here, and you've been here before, so I know that you've got a lot to share with us. Starting with your free rides program, you provide to over 5 million people in 26 cities, including Milwaukee. Fill us in.
And we are just delighted that Miller Lite is again sponsoring the Free Rides program here in Milwaukee for its 29th year, where people from all over the city can get, in partnership with Milwaukee County Transit and Beer Capital Distributing, can get on any bus starting at 8 p.m. at no cost and ride to their destination on New Year's Eve. Service goes until the normal end of the route, but some lines are even extended till 4 a.m. So everyone can get a safe ride on a pretty popular occasion to go out.
Yes, and have fun. So you actually encourage consumers to take a pledge to be responsible. And this year, you've had over 50,000 people actually sign a pledge that they will be responsible drinkers. Tell us more about that and how you were able to get 50,000 people to take that pledge.
Well, we actually had an online designated driver pledge where we wanted to send reminders out. We used our distributor network across the country to help us get the word out with point of sale, and people who wanted to show their commitment and stand with us against drunk driving pledged to be responsible, and they entered online to indicate their responsible position, and as a result we also gave a really nice reward to them. One of the rewards with Miller Lite was a Ford Fusion.
Wow.
So we recognize that when people give up the privilege of drinking our beer or alcohol for the day, that it's a big deal, and we feel that they should really be recognized and have something that shows that it's an important thing in our lives. And really, by doing this, all of us are keeping our roads safe, and as citizens here in Milwaukee, we want to really care about our community, and this is one way that we do it.
Absolutely. You guys also gave away a trip to like Pasadena or something.
Right, with Coors Light. We also had a promotion going on that contributed to that number, and a person and their companion are going to be enjoying the great football game that happens in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl Stadium, and just for being a designated driver.
That is what you call a win-win-win scenario.
Exactly.
And as you stated, you know, New Year's Eve is a huge celebration for Americans. And I guess what we want to do is make sure all the viewers know how they would go about setting up getting a Miller Lite free ride on New Year's Eve.
Sure, it's very simple. To find the most convenient bus route, they can go to MillerLiteFreeRides.com on their mobile phone, on their desktop computer, and they will be connected in with the transit system's destination. They can put in their destination and find the most convenient routes and times, and then when they actually go to the bus anytime after 8 p.m., the bus stop, they can get on the bus at no cost and just enjoy a safe ride courtesy of Miller Lite.
Yeah, and it's fun because if you're with a group of people, nobody has to worry about who's the designated driver. You all can laugh and talk, and before you know it, you'll be at your destination. So it really is an awesome program that you've been doing for so many years. It's shown and proved to really help make a difference when it comes to saving lives.
It has, and we've been really proud of our heritage here in Milwaukee, and with our brewery being here for over 160 years, we really know that we are a part of the fabric of our community, and by having the Miller Lite Free Rides program start here in Milwaukee, it's allowed us to expand it. So If you are traveling this holiday season on New Year's Eve and you're wondering, well, what am I going to do in other cities? You can check that website of MillerLiteFreeRides.com and see if there is a free rides program happening in your community. Because on New Year's Eve this year, we have them happening in Chicago, all the CTA routes. We have them in Minneapolis and St. Paul. We have them in Dallas, in Washington, D.C., in Colorado, in Denver, and Phoenix. So there's multiple locations that we have expanded this program with its start right here in Milwaukee.
That's good stuff. And I would probably say it's smart to figure all that out before you go out because things could get a little extra and they not really know what they're looking at on their phone after the fact, right?
We encourage people to have a plan. That is really our message, is to plan ahead. You know where you're going, you know who you're going with, you have an idea of the fun that you're going to have on that evening. So really have a plan. Know how much, set a limit of how much you're going to drink. Eat before you go out so that you have something in your system, and really take advantage of these free rides programs. They're there to serve and make it easy for you to get around, to enjoy, even if you're going ice skating downtown, or if you're going to a friend's house, or you're going to your favorite pub. We want people to get home safe.
Yeah, and another thing is, even if someone wants to take advantage of the free rides, they might be like me and they don't drink, but they don't want the hassle of trying to find somewhere to park downtown or wherever they may be headed. They can jump on the bus as well.
They can, yes.
All right, good stuff. And MillerCoors has a partnership with Uber and taxi services with a national dispatch service that provides easy access to safe transportation as well, and discounted fees, especially during professional sporting events. So this is something that people will want to know about, because we talk about parking and going to certain parts of town, and it can be a challenge. So fill us in on that.
So we want people to get home safe, and so free rides is one of our methods to do that, but we also do work with Uber. So if people are first-time users of Uber, they can download the app and they can put in Miller times 16, and that first ride is complimentary to get them wherever they need to go. Up to, I believe, $20 is the fare.
Okay.
And if they are an existing user, they want to look in the different establishments around town or their community to see if there's a program in place through our distributorship that will allow them to get a discounted ride. If Uber isn't a service that's available in your community, you can always call 1-800-TAXI-CAB, and that is a free call that will dispatch a cab to you really anywhere in the country.
Wow.
So if sometimes you're in a location you don't know where the most convenient cab service is, that 1-800-TAXI-CAB will dispatch a cab that you can then take and get home safely. And lastly, of course, the easiest way to really do is to designate a driver. Part of that plan is to work with your family and friends so that someone is taking responsibility for driving. And if you're going to a Bucks game, for example, because we have a sponsorship with the Bucks, with the Brewers, with the Packers, designating a driver is a really easy way to make that commitment, get a small token of appreciation, and then make sure that your friends and family get home safely.
Absolutely. And speaking of sporting events, when the season opens for the Brewers, as you just mentioned, you guys step up to the plate literally in actually making sure the fans can enjoy the game and they make the right call to get home safely. And you and I are just going to think positively and say that opening day is going to be much sooner than later, right? Fingers crossed. So how would one go about making a pledge?
So if they're going to Miller Park or the Milwaukee Bucks Arena or Lambeau, for example, which are all sponsored venues of our company, there are usually kiosks in the lobby areas that they can go up. There's different processes that some of them use. Miller Park asks to see your parking permit. Lambeau might ask for some validation that you're a driver. But all of them have these services that you can then take advantage of to sign up and make a commitment. And in some of those venues, there's extra rewards that come from organizations that we work with, like Team Coalition. They're a group of concerned parties, including professional sports, brewers, different services that support the stadium operations, and they do a different responsibility has its rewards. So they annually pick prizes for baseball, for basketball, for hockey, for different sporting events where people can then get pretty large prizes, including amazing trips.
Wow.
So things that we want, we really appreciate those designated drivers, and we want them to be recognized for their efforts.
Yeah, you guys have great incentives, that's for sure. And another thing we need to talk about, Diane, underage drinking. It's a serious public health problem in the U.S., and the consequences of underage drinking can affect everyone. So with that said, there is some good news. However, underage drinking is on the decline. And if I'm correct, it's down 32% since 2002.
And recently, the Monitoring the Future report that's published by the University of Michigan just showed, again, another drop in those numbers. So we're definitely headed in the right direction, and it's on a record low decline, which we're really happy about, and feel that our efforts, all of our combined efforts, whether it's law enforcement, parents, our company, to help educate and create awareness that alcohol is really for someone over 21, the legal drinking age, and by keeping it out of their hands, we are all doing our part to support responsible consumption.
Yes, and I love that when you guys say, with great beer comes great responsibility. So it's outstanding programming that you have in place to say, you know what, yes, we want you to consume our product, but we also want you to be safe and, like you said, have a plan and really do it all the right way.
Absolutely, and Respect 21 is a program that we have here in the Milwaukee area that works with retailers to strengthen their skills so that when people come in and they might be looking under 25, 30 years old, that they are checking IDs, and the levels of checking IDs in the Milwaukee area are outstandingly high. And we've been doing the program for a number of years here and are just delighted with the support that the community has given it, including the city attorney's office, the district attorney's office, in really recognizing that retailers are trying to do their part and helping them get the education and tools that they need to do so.
Absolutely. And you also have what's called Great Plays Grants. And I think this is pretty special in the sense that you award grants to universities around the country to help fund programs that aim to change students' attitudes when it comes to drinking, because we've all watched the movies where they like drink nonstop and everybody's crazy, but that's the movies. You really want young people to understand the consequences of drinking, and this incentive for universities really makes a difference.
Our Great Plays grant really does help universities address risky drinking behavior by their students. And not only do we ask them to look at programs to work with their student population, but we ask them to be evidence-based so that they're actually grounded in good science and are not just things like putting a poster up, but actually measuring and helping the student population to really understand alcohol and its impact, and in a good way that's relevant to the student population. And right here in Milwaukee, Marquette University is one of the recipients, and we're really glad and look forward to seeing results from the program as they measure it.
All good stuff, and I thank you so much for coming by and sharing all of this outstanding information. I know there was a lot of viewers at home saying, I didn't know they did all that. So thank you again for all you do.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
And Diane Wagner is the Alcohol Responsibility Manager for MillerCoors. For more information on anything that we've discussed today, you can visit their website at MillerLiteFreeRides.com. And that is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at Our Issues Milwaukee. Have a Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous New Year.